this is our largest and by far the best because of the engagement that we received from Nigeria. Identity is a subject that really matters to you. There are a lot of agencies throughout Nigeria that are interested in participating and being part of this experience. We have registered over 1,400 delegates, of which 700 are actually government delegates representing 47 African nations. And the rest are international community, development agencies. At the head of that is the World Bank. Compare that to last year where we had 890 delegates. You can see there's a big jump in growth. This year we're bringing in several new initiatives. In addition to a program that is very focused on demand, what are the issues that you're interested in? Harmonization is the key, of course, because that's what you're trying to do. You've got 26 agencies that are dealing with identity when there should be one central organization. So harmonization has been a key driver, and so we built in a program with 115 speakers, all sharing their experiences, bringing their expertise. A lot of speakers are actually from Nigeria as well, sharing their experience so far. So I would say the program is one of the most ambitious that has ever been put together. The exhibition is, you can't have a similar exhibition like this anywhere in the world. You will see, hopefully you will visit the area, you will see the entire world this year. All the big players in the world of identity are there. In addition to being bigger, better, and more pertinent than ever, we're bringing 2 new initiatives this year that have been percolating. And we do lobby the nations, all countries, to declare September 16 as International Identity Day. And it's going to start in Abuja, that cry that calls for that day to be the day recognized by all nations. And it's going to end up in New York when we're going to get the votes to vote on that day. You might say, why Identity Day and why September 16 in particular? September 16 was chosen because the Sustainable Development Goals, there are 19 of them, and many of them have sub-branches. It happens that Sustainable Development Goal 16.9 says that all nations by 2030 should provide legal identity for all. So 16.9, so September, so in honor and recognition of the collective work that all the nations have put together to get to secure the Sustainable Development Goals, we are trying to have that recognition. Why does the world need an Identity Day? We have days celebrating all important issues, except one thing, which is the most important thing that matters to people's lives, their identity. So we want to bring awareness. We want to bring to the world harmonization, to say we all recognize Identity Day, and we all believe that on that day, different countries can ratify it and bring cultural programs, educational programs, awareness programs. Maybe agencies can go to schools, maybe they can go to different places to raise the awareness. Just like we raised awareness about Human Rights Day, about Refugee Day, its time has come to raise awareness about Identity Day. And I think it's very significant that we're doing it in Abuja. I think the fact that the cry starts in Abuja, because you lead Africa in terms of the initiatives in identity, and I think it's good to lead the world. The time has come to lead the world in that regard. So that's one initiative that we are launching here that we did not have before. What we will do, we'll follow the protocol of the United Nations. We are going to collect signatures of all the Identity Authority delegates that are here, plus the international community. If we have a critical mass of signatures, the UN said we will put it on the agenda for a hearing, and then after that we'll put it for a vote. So we are going to accumulate the process in a campaign. The other thing is we are launching here in Abuja an annual record of the progress towards our ultimate goal, which is legal identity for all, and that we call the Almanac. The Almanac is something that we publish every year. And so every year, starting here, we published a book now. Basically says this is our first volume in this journey. Every year we will update it. This year we have 38 experts write articles in this almanac, plus useful information. So the delegates will take this book with them home, share it with their colleagues, and that becomes sort of a record that we see where we are and how we're progressing. Once again, it's an initiative we're launching here in Abuja, in Nigeria, and it's an initiative that is going to continue going forward. So I think the dialogue, unlike prior years, the dialogue now has reached the point where there is lots of depth in it. It's not just about asking questions, how and what. It's now getting to the point where we're gaining momentum. You have already harmonized 30 million identities. That's a huge accomplishment. Now you can start building services. You can start building a more complex ecosystem for identity where some things are free, some things are paid, depending on how and what people need, how you want to serve them better. So we're starting to talk details. We're starting to talk nuances. We're starting to talk business models. We're starting to talk partnerships between the public and private sector. We're starting to talk how the international community, the World Bank, the UNDP can bring value to the table. So I think it's an exciting dialogue, and the time has come for it to be mature, and I think that's what we're seeing. And again, I emphasize the superb engagement that we received from your country and your government.
Programs.